Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special feature here on Craft of the Draft. I'm Jonty Ralph Smith, and we're joined by Calder Cannon's mid-season draft prospect, Rye Penny. Rye, you're obviously up in lights. Last year, you overlooked at the national and rookie drafts. You've returned to the Cannons this year under Andrew Sturgis, and you're being talked about as a mid-season draft prospect. Tell us about how all that talk sits with you.
Yeah, well, I guess you never really know how everything's going to go next week, but hearing your name anywhere is always a good sign. But yeah, it just comes down to whatever clubs want next week. I can't really get ahead of myself, I don't think, but yeah.
And then talk us through, I guess, your pre-season, how it started, how you felt with the games you've been playing, if you felt like you put your best foot forward, and how was that lead into the pre-season and now the first couple of weeks? How's that been for you?
Yeah, no, I thought I had a good, solid pre-season. It was my first one. I was meant to do the SSP trial with Collingwood over the summer, but that kind of got put to a halt with a hamstring for a couple of weeks. But I ended up getting the full pre-season in pretty much with the VFL side either way, and that was, I think, a huge difference for me this year. It was sort of my only second pre-season I've done since I stopped playing volleyball as well, and so, yeah, I think it helped me a lot, just focusing on more the aerobic side of the game. And my kicking was shocking last year, so there was a lot of focus on that. And I think, yeah, so far I've been able to put that to work this year, which has been good, yeah.
Certainly, and you touch on a few components there that we'll delve a bit deeper into, the first of which obviously being your time at Collingwood and however much time you got with the AFL program, but you're still obviously on their VFL list, the VFL development list. Tell us about what that experience has been like and what you've been able to gain both from training there in pre-season and then also training there on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been huge for me, really. Like, just the facilities, having access to that whenever I want, like pre-game, after games, just throughout the week. Like, it's just so helpful. Like, probably the best facilities you could ask for. So that alone's been huge. But then, just the environment there, the coaches are great, the players are great. It's a high level, and I'm trying to train at least once there a week and mixing it with Calder, and it's been great. It's such a good experience either way. So yeah.
How have you found that juggle with Collingwood and Calder, and what have been some of those main focuses? You touch on your kicking, which is something you've wanted to really showcase this season based off last season. Have there been any other areas of growth for you, and what have they been?
Yeah, I think the other one as well this year was trying to use my strengths more, really. Like, I didn't really know I was quick until like mid-year last year, so I didn't really get to put that into play, I don't think. So that was the focus a lot this year, just driving my legs, playing fast, explosive. I think I kind of lost. I haven't taken as much marks as I would have liked this year, so that's something I've been, over the past few weeks, trying to get back together. But yeah, definitely just using my athleticism more in game scenarios has probably been a big one from both clubs I've been focusing on.
Tell us a bit more about that athleticism. You've obviously got the athletics and the volleyball background. Is it something you consciously train? Do you do things with the high performance coaches or anyone else to train that? Or is that just something you've got in your back pocket and it comes naturally?
That's something I've been training, I remember, really. It's comes along with volleyball, I think. So like, my family's a big volleyball family, so my dad always got me outside doing jumping training, plyometrics. But yeah, over the past, I'd say last year's pre-season, I did a lot more trying to get explosive, a lot of plyometrics throughout pre-season. But this year, a lot less. I was trying to mainly focus on the aerobic side of things and my kicking, as I said earlier. But yeah, no, it's definitely always been a part of, it's partly genetics. My dad could jump. And then I guess I just tried to excel it a lot more through all the training, yeah.
And you've had some midfield time as well this season. Tell us about what that's been like. Your strengths are probably best showcased off the half-back line, but you have been exposed to a different position. What's it been like learning that craft?
No, it's been fun. Like, anyone will tell you playing midfield's good fun. Like, you're just around the ball more, so I've got no complaints about it. It's been fun, but definitely very new. I haven't played it since probably under 15 sort of thing. I've been in the back line for years now, but no, I'm loving it. Yeah, it's just good to get my hands on the ball a bit more. Yeah.
And then sort of reflect on last year a bit, Ryan. Tell us a bit about that experience working up and what you've learned to take into this year that has probably been able to excel your game a lot more. And then even the Young Gun series, a couple of weeks ago. What were the key differences you probably saw in your performance compared to last year that you think's been able to excel your game really well now compared to, 12 months ago?
I don't know if I had a big ankle injury last year, and I was out for about 3 months or so. And I think during that time, I wasn't able to run, so I just spent every training session just doing ground balls, touch, just having my hands on the footy all the time. And I think that's starting to show this year. I just feel cleaner around it. I feel like I see the game a bit better because over that time I went through a lot of vision as well because that's all I could do was watch vision and do skills. So I think I'm just seeing the game in a better perspective this year. And just the mental side of things, just feeling better, more confident, just feel more, just older really, mentally. So, yeah.
Tell us a bit more about that mental development that you've had. Like you said, you had the ankle injury last year, then being overlooked in both the drafts. Where do you feel like you sit now, and how much has that sort of developed you, given there has been things out of your control that, have impacted your footy?
Yeah, I don't think it's really affected me too much. I think I've always, sort of taken, I always try and look at the positive side of things. When the ankle injury happens, I just try not to fuss on any of it, really. I think I've just been like that my whole life, so it hasn't been too much to overcome. It was just more worrying about games, pre-game sort of thing. I think that's just been a lot better this year. I'm just more focused on the process now each week, and then game day is game day, and you can control and just play for fun, really. And it's just been more enjoyable this year and just felt more free out there, I guess.
How have you seen the process unfold for you this year? Obviously, seemed to really develop in the second half of, I suppose, the first month for Calder, and you're able to carry that form into the Young Gun series as well.
Yeah, I think I've just been trying to improve each week, really. It's been more the first 4 weeks we're trying to fit in a new role in the midfield, and then I sort of jumped into the Young Guns and that Metro trial back, which felt, just more like I was back at home trying to play how you used to play. So I think I've just been kind of juggling different game styles and trying to take the benefits from each one and mix them into one game, really.
Yeah. And you're obviously a Gisborne boy. Anyone from the Gisborne Footy Club that you want to give a shout out to that's been a big part of your journey?
Yeah, I got to give Riley Leadham and Shane Clough have been huge for me. We've done, session after session in pre-season. We're always, we just basically lived at Gardner, the oval down in Gizzy all summer. So yeah, I've got to give a big credit to them for, just the way we've all developed together, really.
Tell us a little bit about the choice between footy and volleyball. There's obviously a lot of talk, I suppose, each year about there being a couple of prospects here and there that have to choose between footy and cricket, but volleyball's a different decision. So give us a brief insight into your time in the volleyball ranks, and then what, I suppose, caused you to go down the footy path.
Yeah, well, volleyball was it was like my whole family life, really. Like, my parents met through volleyball. We've all played. It was it was always there. It was always what our family did. And I loved, it was great. I loved it. And I think it sort of come down to, I was doing athletics, basketball, footy and volleyball. I sort of had to drop one off as I went along because I couldn't handle it all. And the last two were footy and volleyball. And I think under 17s, I was meant to go to Thailand for the youth worlds for volleyball. And I got cancelled because of COVID. I think after that was when I was I just sat, because I didn't have time to do either of it. So I sat down with my parents and I was like, I need to figure out what I want to do. And it just sort of came down to I love footy more. I love the culture around it. And I just could see myself playing that for the rest of my life more so. So then I just, dedicated everything to that after that. Yeah.
And then back this year at Calder, tell me about how other teammates have impacted the way you played. A pretty talented list, some good young players, Hugo Garcia, Isaac Kako, two names we've heard a lot about. How have teammates around you impacted the way you've excelled at your footy and improved your traits and your skills on the field in general?
Yeah, no, it's been a great group this year down at Calder. It's noticeably different. Even just trainings, games, are just a much better feel. And I think in training-wise, credits go, mainly to Muri Taha. He's just a workhorse that I'm always trying to look out for in drills. he's something that's going to be special, I think. And I could name them all really. Isaac Kako, as you said, and even the two boys from Gisborne, Riley and Shane as well. Like, I could really go through the whole list. Cade Muir is a great captain down there that really drives the standards every day. Again, I could pretty much go through the list. It's such a good feel at the club this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about the Young Gun series. I know we've sort of touched on it a couple of times, but the experience of playing with the best 19-year-olds in the state, obviously coached by Matt O'Connor, who you know well from your time at Calder. How was that experience for you? And did you feel like you were really able to show your traits there? Because I know, speaking to some people, it was probably a couple of games where you certainly did your chances no harm.
Yeah, no, it was a weird series. It was, a bunch of blokes thrown into a team on Sunday that have never seen each other in our lives. But it was good fun. Like, all the boys were great people. We just played a weird style of footy none of us have ever really known. Like, we just sort of went with the flow, see what happens really. But no, it was good fun. Yeah.
No, very good. Rye, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us amid a few Wi-Fi and technical difficulties. We appreciate your time and all the best for next week and what the future holds for your footy.
Thank you. Cheers for having me on.